Hey guys. Okay, I wanted to give my quick review for Smolov Jr. for bench. I wanted to go through some pros and cons as well as some tips if you wanted to start your own cycle. So for this Smolov cycle, I used it for bench, so these tips and this advice only applies to benching on Smolov Jr. So take it with a grain of salt if you want to use it for squatting. First pro is that you do get stronger, and the progressions are set up in a way where your body is kind of constantly prepared for the next session. And at first, when you look at it, it kind of seems like you're taking really big jumps. But for someone who's smaller and who doesn't bench very much like me, I'm still benching in the hundreds, so it's not a 5 pound jump isn't that big of a deal. But I don't know if that would apply to more advanced lifters, so I can only speak for maybe like a smaller lifter, sub 200 pounds, and who's benching sub 200. It's really not a big deal to be jumping as much as you do. Second pro is that you basically have a coach on paper. So usually when you're working out and the workout gets too intense or you feel like you're going to fail a rep, what do? You stop. Most people don't really push through that point because they don't realize what their bodies are capable of. And when you have a cycle or a program telling you, hey, people do this all the time, and it's normal for you to be able to get through this cycle without a problem, then you're kind of like, okay, it's my 6th set out of 10. I don't think that I could do it. And then you push through all the way through the 10th set and you're like, wow, I'm surprised that I actually was able to do it. And the program sets you up so that you are able to do things that you didn't think that you were capable of. Next pro. You basically get to take a break from doing other workouts and accessory work. Next pro. It's a very short cycle. So in a matter of 3 weeks, you get to progress a lot on your workouts. So in 3 weeks, you have 4 workouts a week, so that's 12 workouts. So you're basically condensing what the average person would do in 3 months into less than a month, which is awesome if you are a strength athlete. Now into cons. Cons of Smolov Jr. for bench. First con, your other lifts may stall. So you're not squatting, you're not deadlifting, you're not overhead pressing, or at least you're not supposed to be. And that might cause your numbers to go down. This isn't necessarily true, but it's something that you need to be wary of. It might actually make your deadlift go up, possibly, because you're kind of deloading from doing all of that, and lots of people take time off of deadlifts and come back and they're significantly stronger. So, I don't know because I haven't tested my maxes really. I went for a conservative squat max during my week 2 of Smolov, and it was okay. It wasn't my full-on max attempt, and I could tell that my body was not ready to be maxing. So be wary of that. Second con is that you don't get much hypertrophy work here. Now, I know that they say that bench pressing isn't good for chest hypertrophy, but you're doing so much volume that it's going to hit your chest to some degree, but you're not getting the typical hypertrophy training that you would be getting in another program. Last con is that you will get burned out from benching 4 times a week. I was doing it 3 times a week. I was benching every other day instead of 4 times a week, which is basically instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday every week, I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So every other day, which makes the program take a little bit longer, but it was worth it because I wasn't super exhausted. Tips. Number 1, eat well. When I say eat well, I mean get in your protein, make sure you have plenty of carbs before your workouts, and make sure you're getting in enough total calories. You should be tracking what you're eating, at least ballparking it to the best of your abilities so that you can make sure you're getting enough food, because if you don't, then you're going to have a really bad time on this program. Number 2, rest well. This is kind of obvious. You need to get your sleep, you need to get your rest, and you need to make sure you're not overexerting yourself in ways that you don't typically exert yourself. Number 3 is pick a conservative max. So if you're going off of a 1 rep max that you've attempted, make sure that that 1 rep max is a clean rep. If you typically train without a pause, then don't go off of your paused rep max. Go off of your touch and go rep max. If you typically train flat-footed, then go off of your flat-footed rep max. And make sure everything is by the book, that you're not grinding it, that there's no up and down movement. Make sure that it's just a comfortable 1 rep max. Know that if you grind your 1 rep max at a meet, it'll fly if there's no up and down movement. But if you choose that 1 rep max, it's going to be really, really hard on your body. And you possibly might fail your reps, which is discouraging. You don't really want to fail your reps in this program. My last tip is going to be to stay consistent. You need to train the way you performed your 1 rep max. So every single rep needs to be carried out the same way. If you train with a belt, then have your belt on hand. Don't try to make any stance adjustments mid-cycle. If you usually train with a wide grip, then stay with the wide grip all the way through. It's only 3 weeks, so don't really change anything up. Try to keep everything consistent, because if something goes wrong and you start missing your reps and you can't understand why, and then you look back and you're like, okay, I changed this and I changed that, but my 1 rep max was done differently, excuse me, then you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt because you basically wasted a cycle. And I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to leave it at that. Alright, I hope this helped some of you. Bye!